Tax, to many Nigerians, is seen as a means to drive the economic growth, but in reality, it functions as a withdrawal from the economy. According to Dr. Oluwaseyi Samuel Ajuwon, a lecturer at the University of Lagos, Akoka, the Nigerian government's approach towards driving the economy through tax reform bills is seen as a misconception. Speaking to Trust TV, Ajuwon stated that the tax reform bill by the government cannot propel the country's economic development growth unless certain indices are taken into consideration. Victoria Tokolo, who spoke to The Economist and some Lagos residents, has more in this report.
The Tinubu administration's recent tax reform bills are intended to drive the country economy forward. However, Nigeria is among the countries with the lowest GDP to tax ratio in the world, currently around 8%. Under ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, the ratio rose from 6% to 8%, though he advocated for a further increase to support economic development. Speaking to Trust Television, Dr. Oluwaseyi Samuel Ajuwon, a lecturer at the University of Lagos, shared how the tax reforms could impact Nigeria's economic growth. He stated both the government role and responsibilities of Nigerian citizens in fostering sustainable economic development growth.
Tax is a withdrawal. It is what government will do with the money that is going to drive the economic growth. But tax in itself cannot drive economic growth because it is a withdrawal. So a withdrawal cannot add to the economy, it's actually taken away from the economy. It is what government will do with the tax, that matters. And so if you are talking about tax, it's a different thing about what government will do with tax. We know in this part of the world what has been happening. You see, there is a lot of responsibility that is being expected the government to do.
Lagos residents also gave their perspective on how the tax reform bills may impact both businesses and individual citizens.
When we look at the reality in Nigeria today, I don't think our government should look at that because there are several tools that government can look at to drive the economy, not taxes now, because paying more tax will affect the industrial growth because it will reduce their profitability. And not only industries alone, it will also affect I as a person, it will affect you as a person.
Something will not help out. It will cause more inflation to the country. You understand? In the sense, for the kind of system we are running here, they are not running a transparent government. They might have good intention, but by the end of everything, it will be a reverse case. You understand? You can take for example for this fuel subsidy of a thing. When they remove fuel subsidy, that things will be okay. But things are now getting worse.
Ajuwon offered his word of advice to both the government and Nigerian citizens.
Government needs to do more than what they are doing now. Government needs to be more transparent. Government needs to face agriculture, food production like never before. Both federal government, state government, and local government, they need to use all available lands, to plant crops. Government needs to face food production with all seriousness. Then concerning Nigerians, which I too belong to, one, we must start thinking outside the box, and that is the survivor instincts. Should not wait for government again.
In order to address the issue, he advised the federal government to implement the tax reform bills gradually, given the challenges specific to this region.